everyone. It's your girl Lala, and I am back with another video. So today, it's going to be a little different. We have my girl Candy B here with me. We're going to chit chat and give a little bit of a review together today. So today's review is going to be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, episode 2. Now let's get into the video. So, Candy B, what's up? How you want to start this? Want to go from the top? What's up? All right, let's go from the top. So, we saw that this episode started out with they were at Senia's house. Her whole family was there. They were,
I
having
like
a whole.
Senya. I really think that she's boring so far.
You think she's boring?
I think she's boring, and I think she's sneaky right now.
Okay.
I don't really think she has a storyline, and I don't see why she's. I don't know. Maybe because she just started, and I just don't understand her purpose yet. But
right, I kind of agree. I don't really see her as being a good fit on the show. Number one, but I don't know. I guess we'll see as the season goes on. But also, I didn't like. She is so shady and messy. Like, the comment that she made about Drew. And then also, she was all entangled in that whole thing at Marlo's gala with Sheree. And I was like, oh,
she was
wow.
right about the La Archive. It should be L'Archive.
Yeah, but the thing was, what was messy to me with Sanya was because she went to Marlo and was telling Marlo everything that was said, but majority of it was things that she said too, like she had said.
That's
and
true.
She literally said what, she combined it with what everybody else said. It was just messy because she should have never brought that to Marlo, number one. And then secondly, she never said that any of this is what she said. You know what I mean? I think later on, like at the end of the, towards the end of the gala when, Marlo was on 10, she did, I guess, like own up to some things that she had said. But I'm like, why did you bring it to her anyway when you were the one who said it? So this was last week. So moving on. I know one thing, them 9 people living in one house, that seems like a recipe for disaster.
I think so too, especially because it's not her husband's family, it's mostly her family. And then she moved her sister and the husband and her 2 kids in. That's a lot. I can understand maybe the parents, but
right.
Yeah,
I don't see that. I don't see that going over well because they're already getting on each other's nerves. It looks like you see they had the whole
fighting over beef patties.
Yes. I was like, well, Dad, what kind of beef patties do they have?
I know, and shouldn't they be making it from scratch anyway? I would think that, well, maybe because they got it from Jamaica, maybe they're the best.
I don't know. Maybe they were made from scratch. They're boxed up. I don't know, but they must be something delicious because let me tell you, her mother was pissed off about them patties and told the sister not to eat no more, not to make no more. I was like, okay,
it's just a patty. But anyway, so, that's not a good storyline. So Sanya,
it's not. So far, I don't see any storyline.
You're quite boring, and you only made it to episode 2, and you're a snooze.
Oh, aren't you mean?
I are not shady.
But it looks like they're gonna try to make her storyline about the husband wanting a baby and her not wanting one. I don't know, because we're 2 episodes in, and on this second episode again, the husband brought up to the guys, to Todd and Ralph, about him wanting a baby. So I don't know. I guess this was her storyline's gonna be. We shall see. So moving on. So, was Sheree's house fabulous or what?
Sheree's house is fabulous. It's really nice. I love the basement, love the layout. I don't know. I'm not counting anybody's coins, but I don't know, Sheree. I'm not sure where she's getting this. I mean, okay, I can understand you made investments probably in the past, but where is the income coming in? And I get that you can get investment income money.
Right.
But she is living in the fabulous home where you got to pay, like I said, maintenance. You got to, maintain the house. You got
Right.
to pay taxes, and you got to
Mm-hmm.
pay insurance. And she probably has
Yeah.
a mortgage on top of that, because I'm sure. I
I'm
mean,
sure she does. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, what I want to know, why Candy is around here counting
hustling.
Marlowe's coins and trying to figure out where Marlowe's coins are coming from. She needs to be actually finding out where Sheree's is coming from too. Because that house is amazing. I mean, she got what little she has masseuse tables down there. She has a bar, she has a lounge. I mean, that house was amazing. Amazing.
It was nice. Well, it was nice. It's better than mine, but it was nice. It is.
Oh, it was just nice, huh?
No. It's really nice. I just don't understand Sheree. She just doesn't make any sense to me, especially this season,
Mm-hmm.
especially with Tyrone. I don't know if Tyrone helped her with this house payment,
Mm-hmm.
if he's doing anything shady,
Well,
or
if he helped her with the house, he got to be doing something shady because I mean, he's been in jail for. I mean, what was it? It had to be at least like 5 years or something like that. I'm not.
Mhm.
I can't recall,
Yeah,
but before she left, before she exited the Housewives, before he was in jail. So
right.
I don't
And
know.
that's her storyline, because but then she doesn't make any sense, because how you gonna wait for somebody to get out of jail and then don't
Mm-hmm.
have sex and say, oh, I'm not gonna have sex with them. That's just
Well, no, what she did. So she
weird.
did have sex with him. And then now she's saying that she's not going to be having sex with him anymore because she wants to be sure that I guess, his little jail talk is
What?
legit. Right. Well, I'm like,
Girl, lady,
why
please.
did you have sex with him to begin with then, if that was the case?
I don't know. I don't. Why does she have
Don't
sex?
make no sense.
She don't make any sense at all. But why do you wait for a person to get out of jail?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's gonna be a little bunny rabbit. He's gonna be everywhere, especially in Philly. How? Because he's in Philly. He can't leave Philadelphia. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like I said, it's only a 2-hour flight from Atlanta to Philly. Sheree better get her ass on the plane, give him some nookie, and fly back. Because if she wants to keep him, she really gonna see a change. But I don't know. She just doesn't make any sense to me.
It didn't make any sense to start out like with even having sex with him if that was the point. You just should have waited to begin with. But anyway, that don't make any sense. What did you think about what with Sheree bringing back the bones and her being her messy bone collector self? So it seems like Sheree is picking up what she left off at before with being a bone collector when she was having a conversation with Kenya. And so when she's having a conversation with Kenya, and she's telling Kenya about Marlo saying that Kenya was driving Lisa Ray's Range Rover, and
Right.
that Kenya had the white refrigerator.
She did
So,
have the white refrigerator. Remember when Nene was like, "Why?"
uh-huh, she did, right. But Sheree was being messy, bringing everything back that was said.
Right. Was that Sheree or was that Marlo?
No, that was Sheree.
Oh, that's
Sheree was.
right.
So
Oh,
remember, this is at Kenya's house. So
right.
remember, Kenya
Oh, she was
came
on
over to
with Marlo's
Sheree's
phone.
house,
Yeah.
and then when they were talking, and so she was telling her everything, about all the comments and things like that Marlo had said about
Well,
her.
it's true. She did have a white refrigerator. I have nothing against white refrigerators, and I have nothing against people out there who have white refrigerators. I just prefer. I don't like the black. I prefer
Come
stainless.
on, girl, now, not no white refrigerator. You gonna stop? You gonna
Well,
stop?
well, because it's Kenya, and she's so like, I'm better. I've been in all these movie and television projects.
Right.
So, yeah, girl. Why do you have a white?
It was a while ago, though. I mean, this was a while ago. This isn't. I mean,
She was Miss
don't get me
USA,
wrong.
Miss America. So remember, she said that they bought her like a boat or a yacht. Kenya, you can do better than the white refrigerator in Atlanta. We're not talking
I
about
don't
New
even
York
know about the
City.
boat and the yacht.
We're not talking about New
Yeah, I don't
York
know.
City. Remember? Well, she said it on another show. I think it was the what was the show that her and Cynthia was on, that girlfriend's
Okay.
trip or whatever.
Yeah, I forgot. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Uh,
So then so Kenya, so what was it? Was it Kenya who was oh yeah, so Kenya was sharing with her about the whole thing with Drew's assistant.
yeah,
So remember, she tells her that Sheree and Drew share an assistant, and that the assistant was going around saying, I guess, that Sheree owed him money and was telling Sheree's personal business or whatever. What I found interesting was that Sheree made the comment because a little while after that, Kenya started talking about the whole thing with that whole issue with Drew's husband and the assistant. And so, Sheree makes a comment that, what Drew needs to be doing is focusing on, her own business and marriage instead of, her business. And I'm like, well, what did Drew do? Why is everybody coming for Drew? Because what did Drew do? Drew only told Kenya what was said and that they shared an assistant. So why was
right.
Sheree mad at Drew?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know why Sheree was mad at Drew. Maybe Sheree was mad at Drew because you know what? I think the
What?
assistant probably said something to Drew that was truthful about your girl Sheree. And so
Right. It must
Sheree was just trying to like
have
throw it
deflect.
back,
Yeah,
deflect,
I think
and
she
be
definitely
like,
must have been trying to deflect or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Because I'm like, well, why would she be so mad? What are you mad about Drew for? She just told you, she just said that,
And if she didn't tell you, you
we
would be
share an
mad.
assistant or whatever.
Right. And if she didn't tell you, you would be mad. Like, why you didn't tell me?
Right.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So listen, Sheree's a grown lady. She don't make any sense right now, but I guess she needs a storyline. Everybody needs a storyline. Right now, I'm bored with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think they could do a lot better, but
Right.
the second episode, so we shall
I
see.
mean, they kept bragging about how this season they bringing it, and they said you hear all about their bringing it, and you hear this that Marlo is bringing it. She earned her peach. I'm still waiting to see it. I'm still waiting to see, but like you said, we're 2 episodes down, so we shall see.
Mm.
So now, what do you think about? So now we're at Drew's house,
Oh, God.
and Drew tells her husband, she tells Ralph that Candy brought up the IG assistant thing. And so this is where we get into that whole conversation with Drew and her husband. And he's like, he fired her. And so Drew's like, okay, so you don't talk to her anymore, right?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
he's like, I said I fired her. I didn't say I didn't talk to her.
He's so I you know what? Ralph is very good looking. You first
Mm-hmm.
see him, you're like, oh wow, he's a good looking guy. You kind of like
Right.
him. But when he opens his mouth and talks, and it's like this guy is such an asshole. He's an asshole for real.
He is. He
He's
is.
just such an
He is.
ass. Like
And he's like a professional gaslighter.
he's
Like
definitely a
on a whole
professional
nother level.
gaslighter.
It's
Yeah.
crazy what he does. It's crazy what he does. So what do you think about when, Drew was saying if if um if there was a man, if it was the other way around and there was a
He had a
man
good
and
point.
this had transpired, you'll be having a fit,
Oh,
whatever,
he would have
whatever.
a hissy fit. He would probably
Of
try to like
course,
break up with her or separate from her.
it would be an issue.
It would be
So, but
definitely be an
think?
issue.
What do you think about when he says to her that what do you want me to fire her? I mean, I'm sorry, not you want me to
Oh,
not
not
talk
talk
to
to
her
her.
anymore ever again or whatever. And so Drew says, I'm not going to tell you that because later on down the line, I don't want to be, I don't know, I don't want to be
Yeah.
responsible or whatever the case might be. What was your thoughts on that? Because I'll let you tell your thoughts because
Well, you know what? She knows her husband better than we
mm-hmm,
do, and he does seem the type of person that would like what she's saying is like, I want it to be your decision
mm-hmm,
because I don't want you to hold it over my head and be like, um, what I forget what's the word for it, but I don't want you to be like mad at me for lack of a better word
mm-hmm.
because I told you to stop talking to her. And then he mentioned Oh, there's other things that I'm still blaming you for, something to that effect. I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so that shows me like, okay, Drew is right. That's the reason why she said what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Because anybody else would have been like, no, you don't talk to her. Any other wife, I think. But I'm not
Well,
mad at
this is my thing though. I feel like as a wife, and this is your husband, this isn't a situation where he has an assistant and Drew's just upset or is feeling intimidated by the assistant or something like that. This assistant was inappropriate and crossed the line.
you. She
So
crossed a lot of boundaries.
therefore, yes. So for me, if I tell my husband, or I would feel within every right to say, you will not, like, you cannot have communication with this person. That's it. Because it's also about the fact that this person is disrespecting your spouse and disrespecting your marriage. So I don't know. It just seems so odd to me how Drew, was like, I don't want to be the one to tell you that, because then I don't want you to be mad at me. Like, and I'm just like, I'm confused. I didn't understand her. I didn't understand her stance on that, because if he had already fired her and they're
Why
not
are you
going to
still
be
talking to
doing
her? Business with her, right?
right. So if he fired her and they're not going to be doing business, because what is he going to be able to say later? He
I,
can't say later, oh, something happened with a deal or something happened with work because you made me fire her, because you already said that you fired her and you're not going to be doing business with her. So what are the communications about, number one? And number two, why are you making your wife feel that, there's a potential for her, to get backlash later on from you firing her? I don't know. It's just, but you know what? It's back to that whole gaslighting is what it is,
oh,
because he totally plays a lot of head games with her, and that's what the problem is. Just like when he says, that the lady, she was 12 years. I mean, she was 12 years old when he was born. Ralph, what did that have to do with anything? What did that have to do with anything? What was the
it would
even
only have
for?
made sense if they were if they were in their 20s, like, or teenagers, and like, oh yeah, you're right, she's an old lady. But no, that doesn't make any sense, Ralph. Maybe
Right,
back
like
then
it
it
made
would have
no sense
made
at
sense,
all.
but it don't make sense. And you know what? She's probably like a 50-year-old that looks good. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm sure she is. I'm sure she's an attractive woman. I'm sure. And that's why he's trying to downplay it. And he's saying about,
Oh,
she's
she's
50
50.
and, she was 12 years old when I was born. That's what all that is about, because he's trying to downplay it. But I'm sure that she most likely is an attractive woman.
Well, didn't they say that she has
And
like a
he's
butt?
probably attracted to her. What you say?
Didn't they say that she has a big butt, or
Well, Todd was saying that when they were out with the guys.
right?
Todd had made mention and had said something.
That they
So,
saw.
I mean, I don't know, but that's what
I'm
Todd had
sure she
said.
does. Even there's a lot of big butts in Atlanta. They were right about that, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely. And you never know. And this woman is just crossing the boundaries, offering to give massages, and what is that about? And don't, like I
That's
said,
what
Ralph
I'm
is very
saying.
good looking and he
That's
is
what
very
I'm saying.
tempting, but you have to respect that this woman is married, and this,
Right.
this guy is married, and they're married because they're on
Because you're
national
his
TV.
assistant. You know that that's his wife. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't see how Drew feels that she doesn't want to be the one to tell him to, cut communication. What? I absolutely will say cut communication.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
You know? All right. So moving on. So what did you think about, so we get over to Candy and Todd's house. And so, what did you think about when Todd tells Candy that he's going on vacation? And well, first off,
You know how I feel about Todd. Really, I'm not a Todd fan.
I
Whoever's
don't know
listening,
why
I
you
am
don't
not.
like
I've
Todd.
never been a Todd fan
Yeah,
from
I
day
know. I
one.
know.
I don't like his. I just don't like him. I don't like the way he treats his daughter. I think he's. I just think he's an opportunist. I know he's been in there for a long run, but he's playing a long game. I mean, come on,
Mm-hmm.
a condo in New Jersey, and it's my ex-girlfriend slash whatever this ex person is, like,
Right.
whatever, Todd. If you wanted to get rid of it, come on. You can get rid of that condo really fast.
But let's be fair though, because why would he get rid of that condo though? Why would he need to get rid of that condo? Because okay, let's be fair. He moved into the house that Candy had,
So
right? That
her
was Candy's
house.
house.
Well,
That was
yes,
Candy
he did
already
make
had
a
that
good
house.
point that yeah, he did make a good point. Like the house was broken into and the
Uh-huh.
stand was broken in. He
Mm-hmm.
said something was funny with the mattress not being flipped. He said
Right.
it was
That she
funny.
didn't even flip the mattress over. She did all that bumping and crying, and she never even flipped the mattress over.
I thought they had bought a new house together. I don't know why.
No, that was the house that Candy had. Candy had bought that house,
Mhm.
and she put the work into it. But she had that house before she and Todd had. I don't know if it was before their relationship started, but it
Oh,
was
with the
definitely before they got married that she already had that house. So I think, in all fairness, if he has his condo in New Jersey, that he keeps, I don't think there's
you
anything
know what
wrong
it
with that
is?
because Candy has
Okay,
assets.
all right. Not to cut you off, and I
Mm-hmm.
apologize. But I can see if he said, okay, now you know how I feel about like how he treats his daughter,
Mm-hmm.
the one that he stops talking to, but he takes her to a strip club, which doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, but I can see because the daughter is in New York City, right
Mm-hmm.
now. So why not have, and it's probably her, I'm not sure if that's her mother's condo, but it would make more sense if he said, you know what, I'm going to keep the condo and I'm going to let my daughter live in there. And
Oh, that's true. Mm-hmm.
even if he wanted her to pay rent so she can be responsible, I'm charging her maybe not 3 or 5, whatever he said he can get for it, but maybe charge
Mm-hmm.
her a reasonable price.
Mm-hmm.
That would make more sense. Like, come on. And that would be a good fatherly thing to do, Todd. Like, step up your game.
I mean, that is a good point because he does say later on about, he's gonna hold on to it because he can get like $5,000 or $6,000 or something like that in rent. So I mean, that is a good point. He could always let his daughter, daughter live there.
He
So that's a
should
good
let
point.
her live there.
Yeah. But what I found interesting in this
I mean,
scene,
make her pay rent, but not $5,000, of course. But
well, yeah, of course not. Of
make
course
her
not.
make her pay the maintenance fee.
I
Or
mean, because the way it seems, it doesn't seem like he's there,
he's
obviously
not.
because he lives in Atlanta with Candy. So it seems like he probably goes, here and there. So it definitely seems like it could be a situation where his daughter could definitely live there and, utilize it in the meantime. But
That would make
so what did you feel about in their conversation, when Candy makes the comment that Todd's always going on vacation? And so, then he says to her, well, you go away all the time too. And, she's like, well, the difference is when I go away, I'm going away for work. You go away, it's basically, I guess, for fun. And then he goes ahead and he mentions that he's going to Miami,
yeah.
right? Wasn't it Miami that he said?
Yep.
Or Florida or something?
Mm-hmm.
What was your thought on that?
I don't know. I mean, I think Candy is a hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely know she has a prenup. I'm really happy for that. I'm not saying, like I said, I think Todd is playing the long game on this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he don't love her, they don't love each other, but I'm with her mother on Todd. I mean, that's my opinion. But yeah, Candy she's right. When she's going away, she's doing New York City, she's doing her play.
Mm-hmm.
When she's in Chicago, she's doing the Shy, so or she's doing business with her sex toys. So
Right,
she's
right.
actually bringing in income. And then Todd, I don't feel like
It's having fun. Because she
I feel
said
like
it.
he's having fun,
She's
and
like, when you go away, like you're
yeah,
having fun.
and
It,
he's going, and obviously he's not taking her. He's going with his boys, I guess.
well, for me, okay, so the issue here with me with all of this was that he told her that he was going to Miami in the kitchen at this time. So
Mm-hmm.
it's almost as if he makes plans and later just tells her what he's going to do. So for me, that's where the issue lies, because I'm like, well, you guys don't discuss ahead of time. He doesn't say, hey, how do you feel about me booking this trip with the guys or doing this or doing that? It's almost like he moves solo, like a single man in regards to like just up and planning things to do and then telling her later, oh, I'm gonna be here.
Right.
So that was it. That was like the issue for me in this whole conversation, because I'm like, so you're just
Yeah.
now finding out he doesn't ask ahead of time or anything? I don't know.
I mean, Candy, and then Candy has brought him into a lot of businesses with the restaurant
Mhm.
and other stuff. So it's not like she's been selfish.
Right.
So I mean, she's trying. I mean, one thing about Candy, she knows how to make some money.
Listen, Candy is going to
You
make
know,
a coin, and Candy is going to get to the bag, and she is going to make a coin, one way or other. Like she's very ambitious and very, goal oriented, and like, you know, and she's very creative. So she's always coming up with something,
mm-hmm.
And I don't know, maybe that's a part of, maybe that's a part of the reason, why Todd feels like he can just go out here and there or whatever and kind of do what he wants, because maybe he feels like she's never around because she works so much. I don't know. Who
Well,
knows?
he
But
needs
I
to
just
start.
thought,
Well, he needs to step up and start doing stuff on his own.
true.
Not always using Candy as the back. I mean, or they can do something together if he wanted to, but or he
Yeah.
should just do what his passion is. Why can't he just do? It's a lot of Atlanta. There's a new
Well, she did
television
make mention.
entertainment production. He could start doing that again if that's what he really
Yeah.
wants to do.
Well, she
So
did make mention that they do a lot of projects together, but I guess what she has on the table right now is a project that's just her, with her working on. I mean, I guess you gotta understand too, because probably what happens sometimes, like, maybe people are willing to bring Candy in and not Todd. So, I agree. I definitely think that maybe he needs to kind of, you know, um, find some projects of himself, like himself, to get into. I know one thing: if he going around to Miami and everything else, why can't get that pool finished? And
right.
why they can't get that? And then not to mention, why are they doing it?
I
Like
don't know.
Candy, if you don't hire somebody to get in there and do that pool,
Do the pool and clean up
right? I
because she
was
can
like,
afford it, right?
seriously,
You know
I'm
what?
like, why are y'all sitting here and having this conversation about this pool?
And now that I think about it, I think Todd from the beginning should have said, "Okay, we can." I like your house, but let's establish kind of like what Cynthia and her new husband did.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want the Bailey Lake. They're gonna make what are they making now? Something.
But she kept her, but she still has the
She
house.
still has it, but they also have something just that's both of theirs.
Right,
I
right.
mean, I think it depends on the man, to be honest with you. And Todd just seems like the type of man that he needs to feel like, some people just want their own fresh stuff,
Right, right.
together. Just be like, oh, this is ours together.
Mm-hmm.
Still keep it, but this is ours together. This is the newness. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's understood. I can understand it both ways. You know, Candy put a lot into the house, and it was purchased before him, so I think it's kind of hard for him to, I guess, maybe put the proposal out there of let's buy something together, because we got to also remember that there's a huge income difference between the two of them.
Yeah.
So if she's going out to buy a $3 million house, who's really paying for that?
Oh, that's true.
Candy.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would she move out of something she already got just to appease you, in a sense of what we moved in this together? I
Mhm.
don't know. That's a little bit of a hard situation, because if
Yeah.
he can't if he can't come to the table financially, to pay for it, which I doubt, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I
Right.
just think that it might be a really tall ask when it's such a big income difference between the two of them, because Candy's worth millions.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know though. So now we get to the Candy's Halloween photo shoot.
What
She's
was that?
always up to something.
That was,
Always.
I didn't understand it. I was like, what is that? Is she what was she? I was like, what is she doing? And who has a, I said, only Candy.
I know. She's always up to something. Always.
Yeah.
So, so Marlo and her starts having a conversation. And Candy, she cleared the air with Marlo, letting Marlo know, like, listen, the only comments I had was the comments I've been having, basically about,
where you get your money
where you
from.
get your money from. Yeah, where you get your money from, And at this point, I don't even think that Candy is so much of asking it, even so much to be shady. Like, Candy, I think her wheels is turning like, I might, let me know. I might could create a whole business or something else for myself. I really think that Candy might even be coming from that aspect, because her wheels are always turning as to start some type of business or do something to make a coin. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, she clears the air with Marlo about it. And I forgot. So in this conversation, they went back to when I guess Candy and Marlo first met, because Candy Marlo was dating Candy's cousin. Now, I did remember that episode when Marlo was real shady about, saying that they call you a sugar mama, basically saying that Candy takes care of men. I remember that, but I totally forgot about, or I don't recall that Marlo was dating Candy's cousin. And so they had already had prior history and knew each other from there, because Candy was like, I don't know why she was treating me so shady, because, they already known each other. And when she came, but I don't know, maybe because she was coming into the circle and, I don't know. But anyway, Candy mentioned that, and I forgot all about that, or I don't know, I didn't recall it or whatever.
Yeah,
but
I didn't recall. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But it makes sense. I mean, yeah, where does Marlo get her money from? She claims she dated a billionaire like 100 years ago.
Like, okay. Candy said she must be better at investing in whatever. Like,
what did she invest in? Like, I want to know. Like, what stocks did she? Well, maybe if she was a billionaire, maybe they told her what. I don't know. Do you really think she was dating a billionaire, or do you think she was more of like a? I mean, I'm not saying she's a street girl or tricks. You don't, huh?
I think she was providing services for a billionaire.
Exactly.
I absolutely believe every bit of the whole part about, the escort and things like that. And that's what I think the situation was. I think she was being taken care of because it was most likely some type of arrangement, escort type of, situation. Something like I don't know, something like that is what I think. I just don't think. Yeah, because the thing is that we have not seen Marlo in a relationship the entire time that she has been a friend to the Housewives show, now even being a cast member. We have never seen anything with Marlo, and it's not even been heard. Like, even with Candy saying that she dated her cousin, that's like the first time I've heard about like an actual, like, possible relationship.
Well, she is dating somebody right now. But
oh, is she?
Remember, she said she went on a date, but she don't know what he does.
But that was because they was like, we don't know what you do. The nerve of her, like, we don't know what you do.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying in a relationship, something more consistent, not like.
I agree. I like Marlo. I do
too.
I really do. I always like Marlo. I don't know how she got impeached, though, to be honest with you, but obviously you don't have to be married to be a housewife.
Well, Kenya had impeached. She wasn't married.
Right, I agree. That's what I said. Maybe you don't have to. I mean, Real House, you don't need to be married to be a Real Housewife. But she got married after the fact.
No, Kenya got married during her time as a housewife. Yeah. But Kenya's an OG. She's been on here for a long time. The majority of the time that she was there, she was not married. So
that's true.
So you definitely can obviously be a housewife, without a husband.
And then Marlo, it's not like you lived in Paris, you've been to Paris and all this stuff. You should at least double check with your French friends so they can tell you that it's L''archive, not.
Oh, but she put the LE.
Yeah.
And it was just dragging her for that. But they don't have to be that messy. That was a little catty.
Well, it was catty,
I
and
didn't have to say. Well, I guess that's the that's the premise of the show. They're gonna give you all the shade in the world. Them girls is shadier than shade, the shade itself. But that still is like kind of y'all at her event.
but you know what? Marla would have been the same. Would have been doing the same if it was reversed or somebody else. So
You know what? That is a point. That is a point because Marlo is shady as well, and she
she's
would have
very
had
shady.
she would have had to think yeah. I mean, if you could dish it out, you got to be able to take it
Hmm.
because all of them women are all shady and they all dish it out. I mean, Drew. I don't know about Drew. She tries to. She just I don't
No,
know.
Drew is kind of out of her league as well. She's kind of like with Senya, and I guess her and Senya are friends.
No, I
Uh,
don't think Singh is out of her. I don't think Singh is out of her league because
I mean, not out of her
Singh
league
is
like that. I
very,
mean,
very
like
shady and
I'm talking
messy.
about for art for Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just thinking about like the whole, you know, the whole what's the word? The whole, franchise.
Uh-huh.
I just don't see. I don't know. Maybe because I'm just used to Sheree and Candy and the Ninis and the Marlos, so it just feels like you have these new people who just don't fit in, especially with I don't know, especially with where'd you go?
Oh no, go on for a second.
Oh,
I'm sorry for
especially
something.
with like
But
Drew.
carry
I
on for
mean,
a
Drew
second.
is cool. I just, I think she should. I don't know. I'm thinking about last season, what happened with the whole hair thing. I think they should bring like Toya back, to for some little some sprinkling in some little drama just to keep it going. But we'll see how the season will go.
So you think that Latoya should be brought back?
Yeah, I like Toya. Toya was fun and dramatic and started trouble with Drew for no reason, but it was good.
Uh-huh.
It was good. It was good reality TV, a little bit. It was
Okay.
a little obnoxious sometimes, but yeah, I like Toya.
Okay.
You didn't like Toya?
Um,
And I think her and Kenya had something going on, something freaky deaky.
yeah, I definitely think that they had some type of
They
chick on
had
chick.
they definitely had
Some type of chick on chick
they
love
had
affair,
some
a
type
romance that
of
they done
encounter.
had. I definitely think so. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't like. I could do without Toya. For me, I do miss Portia. I like Portia was one of my favorites. I did
Oh,
like Portia on the show.
see,
So
like
for me, I
Portia
think
to start what she would do, like
yeah, I like. You
twerk.
know what?
All she did was twerk.
Yeah, but Portia had an energy about her. She just wanted to have fun. I think that she brought a little more of a balance to the show in regard to a fun, real fun, upbeat personality or whatever.
I mean, it was funny, especially with the little talking head. She cracked me up. But then I got tired of her every 2 seconds twerking, and it's just it gets
I didn't mind.
silly after a while. After I want her to, yes, be fun and be upbeat, but also show your like maturity throughout the years. I mean, it's always her chasing some man or twerking and fighting and like, come on, what's her name? What's Portia like? Grow up a little bit, like you almost
Yeah,
you 40 or whatever who she is.
but that was still my girl.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like Portia. I love her hair, her wigs. But anyway,
Yeah, I think
um,
she definitely gets the top slot for those daggone lace fronts that looks like they're growing out of her scalp.
mhm.
I think she has one of the best looking like wigs, lace fronts on
Alice, yeah.
any of these like shows, hands down or whatever.
And
But
her
okay,
even
so
her face was always beat nicely.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I
agree.
love Portia.
Speaking of that, Drew has gotten a lot better from last season because it was all about her hair, her wig. I don't know if you probably don't remember, but
I do. I see
yeah,
her hair has gotten her wigs and her hair has gotten a lot better
yeah,
this
this
season.
season,
You definitely see the difference this
right?
season with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, Drew didn't bother me. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know. Everybody is like everyone doesn't have to be the video vixen with these, the video vixen hair and the, beat face. Everyone does not have to look like they are about to do a video shoot,
No,
you
no, no,
know?
no. I agree
So
with
I just
that
think
one.
that,
I mean, it's supposed to be reality TV show, and of course, none of
right.
like real, but but it's also like Kenya. She understands the assignment very well. Let's just say that Kenya and
Kenya was also, she comes from the beauty pageant world. So a lot of
yeah,
stuff is second nature to her. And this is the thing. I feel like there are women who are very, very into that. And then I feel like there are women who are going to, do more, depends on the occasion, things like that. And I just feel like to each their own. You know what I mean? Like if you want to, like Portia, every time you see Portia, hair done, makeup done, outfit, everything, that's Portia. Drew is a little more laid back of a person. I think that's fine too. I don't think that
mhm.
you know, just because they're on TV, they have to look like they are going to an event or, look just so fabulous like all the
No,
time.
I
Or
like
whatever.
Drew.
So
Who doesn't like Drew Sidora? Like everyone knows Drew Sidora.
from the
I
game.
mean, huh?
Oh, why did she? Oh, that's right. She used her real name in the game, right? Drew
Yeah,
Fedora.
she used her own name in the game.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
broke up Melanie and Derwin. People don't like her for
Right,
that.
right,
They still mad
right.
at her literally actually for it. And she's been in stuff like Drew Sidor is a cute girl. I just hate that Ralph is like gaslighting her and putting her in circles. Did you see what he did to her at dinner? What did you feel about that? I know we forgot to cover that. When he took her to dinner and was
Mhm.
like, bought her a dress and have her,
So the thing is, this is the thing for me with Ralph and that whole thing. I thought that the gesture was really nice. It was such a nice romantic evening that he planned. It was cute with the whole, sending a stylist over with the dress, sending hair, sending makeup over. It was nice. But in Ralph's, it seems regular fashion. He knows how to ruin it. He just knows how to ruin it.
Mhm.
That
And blame it
conversation
on
just
her.
went left so quick. Yes. Yes, he knows how to manipulate her. Now, I do agree with the fact that I do think that Drew should have enjoyed the evening and not got into that heavy conversation, because that's a conversation that just has the potential to go left and lead to an argument or somebody being upset. So I definitely don't think that she should have tried to have that conversation in that moment. But I also don't think that he had to treat her the way he did about it. I mean, in the end, telling her, oh, he regrets doing it. Maybe he does
Yeah.
too much and, he regrets doing it and things like that.
Right.
And it's like,
Yeah.
I think he could have just been a little more patient and understanding and just told her, listen, Drew, let's enjoy the night and have that conversation later. Because
Right.
I think, while I do think that the timing was wrong, I get a feeling that with a man like Ralph, the timing is always wrong. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like even if she would have maybe tried to table it then and later on come back to it, it's a tactic where he doesn't want to talk about it because he does things and he just like wants to do something grand and wants her to forget about it and just kind of like it to go away. So
Right.
I don't
And
know. So it's
erase what
kind
he
of,
did in the past. Like, oh, but you know what? I
yeah.
also think that the way Drew mind works
Mm-hmm.
is that she can't enjoy herself unless she gets that part off of her chest or kind of get like confirmation from him that everything is going to be okay.
Right.
And maybe not have the whole conversation, but maybe say, okay, babe, I definitely understood where you were coming from with the assistant. You know, I talked over with my boys or whatever, I don't know, or I
Mm-hmm.
thought about it, you're right, you know, it was inappropriate, and you know, this is my gesture of just saying how much I love you. And then I think she would have been able to move on in that moment and enjoy the night, you know. To me, I just think that, you know, because I would have been like, you know, you can't really enjoy yourself because in the back of your mind, you're thinking about like, well, is he doing this for the damn assistant too? Or, you know, what did he do when
Right.
he went to,
Right.
when he drove to Florida or Tampa, wherever he went
Yeah,
for
yeah,
3
yeah.
days?
So you
So,
say basically he should have eased her mind
right,
and eased her mind at that moment and reassured her, and then
reassured
they
her.
could kind of talk later on. I
Yep,
could take that.
I think
Yeah,
that's what
I
he
could
should
take
have did.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
then
he
he was an
definitely just
asshole
gaslighted
about
her.
it. And I hope when he replays and see this, he's gonna be like, you know, he was really an ass. Like, I was totally on Drew's side when it came to that. I was like, I kind of felt really bad for her.
I did too. He
I was
definitely was.
like,
I mean, you know, like I said, I get it that it was the wrong timing for Drew, but I think the way he reacted and treated her, I think it was just out of line. I don't think it
mhm,
was fair. I don't think it was right, especially because of the things that he had done. And it's like he makes her think that her her issues or her concerns or what she's upset about
mhm.
isn't valid. Like it's in her
Right.
head. And
Yeah.
I have a huge it's like that's a huge issue. That's
Mhm.
a really huge issue. So I don't know. I don't know what more we have to see with Ralph and Drew, but I just know that it seems like every season they got some like crazy out of line type of thing going on.
Mhm.
That's usually totally out of line.
Right.
So, what did you think about when so Todd and what was it? So Todd goes over to his restaurant Blaze, and
Oh, when they went out.
then yeah, Ralph meets up with them, and then Ross, Sanya's husband.
Hmm.
The first thing I thought of when I saw Ross come, I was like, whoa, hold up. Sanya, get your husband. You don't want them. You don't want him with these two right here.
I
Like,
think he's
you
a
don't
nice
want him with these
guy.
two.
I think
Not
he's
with these two.
I think he's a nice guy, and I feel like he would not be easily influenced by them. Hopefully, I
Mm-hmm.
could be wrong, but I feel like he would influence them to do the right thing. I mean, he just seems like a nice guy. I mean, from what I gather, but that's just my first impression.
Right.
Like, he's easygoing because any other guy would have been like, "No, you can't move your parents and your sister and his husband. You know, everybody under one roof, unless they all chipping in and paying bills. I don't
Well,
know."
I think Sanya did make mention that they are trying to, I think, like buy something or do something. I don't know. I think she mentioned something of the sort. So it might be, a type of sacrifice for the moment being because I think they're trying to do something or whatever. So
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe for the greater good, the greater purpose, they are like, we will, all live here and kind of, you know,
Right.
I don't know. But anyway, so of course the assistant comes up in this conversation, and
Mhm.
this is when Todd is telling Ralph, like, yeah, my wife is telling me about your assistant and the whole assistant situation, everything.
And,
And
and
so this is
Sonya
when
husband was
Todd
like,
says,
"Yeah, I heard about it too." Like, yeah.
right. And Todd is like, basically saying that she, he heard she had a big butt or something, a
Hmm.
nice body or whatever. She was whatever, or something to the sort that, he says. And then Ralph tries to go into his explanation of, of how his back had been hurting. He is really sticking to this about his back had been hurting and he just needed an appointment or whatever. And of course, the fellas is looking at him like, ain't nobody buying
Nah,
it. Like,
like,
ain't nobody buying that. Nobody's buying that.
no.
But Ralph was once again trying to tell the fellas about how,
Well, they're men. They understood what he was thinking, so you
but
can't
no,
get
they
over on
they
him.
they didn't understand
Well,
this.
no, not understand that, but they was understand like as a man, like how would it sound if a woman said, "Oh, I'll massage you," and I'm a man. It's gonna lead to more. Everybody knows that massages always lead to
But this is
extra.
the thing, though. That's not
He
what
was
Ralph
trying
was
to get
saying.
over on them,
But
and it
look,
didn't work.
but that's not what Ralph was saying. That's what Candy and Sonya said to Drew. Because when he responded back like I'm a man, he's trying to say that his response saying I'm a man was saying like I'm a man, I don't listen. I didn't go make the appointment. He's trying to say that it was in that sense. It was Candy and Sonya that was like, basically Candy more so, that was like, we know what that means, I'm a man. She's like, because when you text I'm a man, that means like, look, I'm a man, I want to do more
It's
after
going
that
to lead to
massage.
more. That's exactly what he meant. Like,
right. But he's trying to say
it up, but it didn't work.
Exactly.
We know what he meant. Like, come on.
Right. Right.
You know what? Ralph, you're full of shit if you're watching this.
Seriously. So then we get to, so Marlo is talking to what I think she's talking to excuse me. So Marlo is at the house with the boys and her nephew. I guess he's going to like he's going to his homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
His homecoming or whatever. She spent $1,200 for his suit, his $1,200 suit. And she's teaching him how to dance. I did like in this episode, in this scene when Marlo is kind of upfront about, the way she takes care of her nephews and the things she does for them. It's so different from what she had. She mentions that, she grew up in a project. She mentions that her mom was on drugs. And, she just kind of, keeps it real in the sense of like, she didn't grow up with this stuff. And I like when we have these real moments with Marlo because I think we kind of, especially I love the moments with her nephews where we see her more in a nurturing and caring role because, Marlo just gives us a sense sometimes of just this superficial, like woman who doesn't care about anything but fashion and getting money, or being taken care of and things like that. So I definitely like when we see her in these roles. And I think so far, that's the one thing I think I like with her having a peach now and the storyline is seeing her with her nephews and also being kind of vulnerable at times. I thought it was really cute when she gave her nephew a little kiss. It was like, I love you. When he came down, it was taking the pictures and everything. So I'm liking to see Marlo in this, in this light, to see this side of her.
Yeah.
I'm liking it.
I definitely like Marlo in this role. And I like that she's taking care of her nephew, and her and Candy had a good conversation, and Candy made a good point because when you're around the way that they're growing up and going to those type of schools and running those circles, why as Black people we always have to feel like, oh, you should be grateful, and but if that's what he's used to, then if that's the norm in that setting,
environment,
it should be the norm. I agree. But then on the other hand, you do gotta Marlo also made a good point. Like if she was to go today or tomorrow, would they have enough
go hard? Right.
Would they go hard and grind? I don't know. These generation, Z's are, I don't know. Actually, the generation Z's, they actually do go hard. They all about being the boss and getting money. So maybe he might just be they might just go hard. I don't know.
I mean, I definitely understood Candy's point, and I see both sides of what she was saying because, I definitely think that, especially I think when you have people who, came from nothing and made something of themselves and put themselves in a really good place financially and things like that. And it's like, if you have children, why do you want your children to struggle the way you struggled? Because the whole point is that you're giving your children a better life, right? And you struggle because your parents or whoever raised you didn't have it to give to you. So why, if you have it, why, like, where is this concept from that, Black people have to struggle, or, to teach a child a lesson or whatever, they have to struggle. So I definitely get that. I definitely get that. But then there's also that flip side.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Some of these kids are just spoiled and lazy and don't want to do nothing, and they end up
right because because it's like I can see it
So
being
it's
a
both
really hard
sides.
balancing. Yeah, it could be a really hard balancing between, you know, teaching them, teaching them and showing them and not wanting them to struggle, but at the same token, still having it to where as though, they're not entitled, where they're not feeling entitled. And to where as though you're not raising children with no motivation or goals or
Right.
anything because they feel like everything is at their feet.
Hand it to
So
them.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a I think that's a
Double-edged
tough.
sword. Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So all right. Well, this concludes our recap for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, episode 2, with your girl Lala and your girl Candy B. So until next time, toodles.
Toodles.